For the next 7 days, I am only going to eat foods that have been featured or mentioned on the TV show Red Dwarf.
Did someone say they wanted toast?
Hello and welcome to Eatrigue. It's lovely to see you here. My name is Jessica and this is Red Dwarf Week. First aired in 1988 on the BBC, Red Dwarf follows 4 characters, Rimmer, Lister, the Cat and Crichton, who are marooned in the middle of space 3 million years from Earth.
Look me a kipper, I'll be back for breakfast.
Food is often a major plot point in Red Dwarf. It's the subject of many jokes where they'd incorporate random ingredients together to make one dish.
Your caviar vindalooza.
Just to show how much of a slob the main character of Lister is.
Nice cornflakes, nice and oniony.
Since they're stranded 3 million years from Earth, supplies are often quite low, so they just kind of have to make do with what they have.
Sugar puff sandwiches, my favourite.
The series gained cult status, and as such, they were making brand new episodes as recently just a few years ago. But in this series, I'm going to be concentrating mostly on the early series.
It's incredible. Where did you get the recipe from?
Although I might throw in something from the later one as well.
I'm gonna eat you little fishies. I'm gonna eat you little fishies.
Because I like little fish. When I was shopping for this series, I randomly saw this in the frozen section of Lidl. And I was like, I have to try it. So we've got a little bonus food.
I'm going to eat you little fishies.
These are made from 45% Alaskan salmon. And they are shaped like little fish. Let's give it a go. I don't taste much fish. There's a little bit of hint in there, but it's very potato forward. And also it needs ketchup.
Ketchup?
But with that little diversion out of the way, let's get started.
Super.
Good morning. It is day 1, I've just put my tea down over there, of eating Red Dwarf food for 7 days straight, because that's a catchy title. And we are starting with an absolute classic. From Series 2, Episode 3, Thanks for the Memory, is Lister's very own triple fried egg sandwich with chili sauce and chutney.
It's a state of the art, Sarnie.
The state of the floor I'm worried about.
This was given to Rimmer from Lister when they were extremely hungover and they just wanted some food. Apparently it's really, really nice. Rimmer really enjoyed it.
I feel like I'm having a baby. It's incredible. Where did you get the recipe from?
So clearly that's what I need to start with. Okay. Should be very simple. Just fry a couple of eggs, throw it in some bread, add the sauces, done. Right, let's go. So as with most things in this series, there isn't actually a recipe given for what we're eating. Sometimes not even visual references, but thankfully in this case there is. So we know that triple fried egg sandwich contains 3 slices of white bread, and I'm going to butter them as well, just because I like my bread buttered when I eat a sandwich. I never quite understood how you butter the middle slice though, whenever you make these club sandwiches. Like, do you put the ingredients on in the bottom layer and then butter the top one, or... Anyway, I'm doing it my way. Step 1 done, now to fry the egg. So I did look online and there was some debate over how many eggs you actually put in this thing. A lot of people are saying 4 eggs, which is like 2 in each layer. I personally feel that's too much for breakfast. But also the sandwich doesn't look that thick, and I feel like having 4 eggs would just make it a bit unwieldy. So I'm only going with 2, 1 for each layer, and also it means I'll probably actually be able to finish it and have room to spare for lunch later. Normally when I eat a fried egg I would leave the yolks intact, but the sandwich that you see on screen, there was no mess. It's not as if you bit into it and the yolk just spilled it everywhere, so I am actually going to break the yolk and cook it. But then it just makes it neater, doesn't it? Okay, those are done, but I'm going to prepare this now. So let's start off with 1 layer of chutney. Now I'm going with mango chutney because Lister is a massive fan of curry, and of course mango chutney is a very common staple of Indian food, at least in Britain anyway. So first egg goes on top. Now in terms of chili sauce, first I thought of using this, which is like kebab house chili sauce, because again Lister loves kebabs, so I thought that would be the type of chili you go for, but this particular product has like a mint undertone to it, which I just feel be a bit weird, so I'm just going to use sriracha. It says chili sauce, so I think it counts, right? Just give a nice generous helping of sriracha on there. Then the next slice of bread, and then I will butter it at this point. Then more mango chutney, second egg, and finally more sriracha. The other one on top. Now Rimmer did actually eat this whole, without cutting it, but I'm going to cut it, and of course I'm going to cut it into triangles because triangles are more delicious. And there we go, one fried egg chili chutney sandwich. I'm just hiding behind the thing so it focuses. Because it's cameras. This is going to be awesome. But of course, because it's Red Dwarf, not only am I drinking a cup of tea out of my Smeghead mug, I need to drink some fresh mango juice. Okay, it's not technically fresh, but you know. Cheers. That is really nice and really refreshing. Wow. Okay, right. Sandwich time. Let's see if it's as good as Rimmer made out. Wow. It is surprisingly awesome. That mix of the mango chutney and the chili sauce, that's amazing. It's like a sweet and sour kind of undertone, but obviously with slightly different flavours. I'm not sure if it's something I have for breakfast every day, but this is definitely something I'll have every once in a while.
It's well naughty. The trouble is you've got to eat it before the bread dissolves.
This is so good. I'm going to give this like a 8, maybe 9 out of 10. Definitely try this. I'll see you at lunch. For lunch today, I'm going for a product that was referenced in Series 3, Episode 3, Polymorph, and it is Alphabetti spaghetti. And we never saw anyone actually eat this, but we do know that you can do amazing things with Alphabetti spaghetti.
Alphabetti spaghetti!
I'm not going to do anything special with this, I'm just going to put it on toast and eat it. So this was referenced when Lister got accosted by the polymorph and then supposedly had sexual relations with Rimmer's mum.
Just made love to my mother.
Yeah, do you want to make something of it?
And Rimmer got well pissed off when it was implied that this was involved in the sexual relations.
The things this boy can do with Alphabetti spaghetti.
If you haven't watched the episode, I'll just leave it at that.
Would you like some toast?
It's been a long time since I've had any sort of tin spaghetti of any description. Let alone Heinz. Pretty nice. It's quite fun spelling words, isn't it? You know what it does need though? Is a little bit more pep. So let's throw on some Tabasco sauce. Why not? Plenty of that all over the place. Lister would be proud. It's dinner time, and for dinner we are having a chicken Marengo. Now this featured in Series 1, Episode 5, entitled Confidence and Paranoia. In it, the cat goes to one of the automatic food machines, asks for food, and they say today's specialty is chicken Marengo.
I'm gonna eat you, little chickie. I'm gonna eat you, little chickie.
Now when I look at the episode, it looks like he's just eaten a roast chicken with some potatoes and salad, but chicken Marengo is actually a completely different dish. It's essentially chicken cooked in a mushroom and tomato sauce, which sounds quite nice, but the story goes that it was actually made by Napoleon's chef. The story goes he just asked his chef to rustle something up and he foraged and found what he could and this is what he invented. Whether or not that's actually true, who knows. But either way, that's what I'm cooking today. I'm not going to cook the sort of roast chicken that we see on screen because that's just a bit boring. We're actually going to do it the proper way. So let's get going. So the ingredients we need for chicken Marengo. In front of me I have 6 bone-in chicken thighs, which we'll then season with salt and pepper. Then obviously we have the mushrooms, and then we'll cook it with onion, garlic and chicken stock. We also need a bit of flour in there as well. A bit of white wine. This is just some leftover wine that I had from dinner yesterday. And then we've got tinned tomatoes, tomato purees, and then we'll top it up with some flat leaf parsley at serving. So our first job is to just season our chicken with salt and pepper on both sides, which we're then going to brown off in a frying pan. Of course the browning just gives it some nice flavour. Now we need to make a sort of chicken broth type thing, which essentially you just mix together some chicken stock with the white wine and a bit of flour. So, oh my god, that is not crumbly at all. How old is this bloody stock cube? Just pour some hot water in there. So in the bowl we just need to add 1 tablespoon of flour and we'll whisk that in with half a cup of stock, which which I'm going to add gradually to sort of make a nice smooth paste. And then also half a cup of wine, but I'm just going to throw some in. I tend not to measure things, you just throw in what you feel like, right? That smells amazing. Now I'm going to slice up my mushrooms. What do you want, Kat? Do you want some chicken Marengo? Well, maybe you can have some. Pretty sure you're allowed to eat everything that's in this dish. Do you want chicken Marengo? Is that why you're moaning at me? You want some chicken Marengo too? Well, maybe we'll try it and see if you like it, yeah? I think that's a good idea. Cats! Ugh. Right, anyway. Back to what I was doing. So I'm going to slice the onion as well. There we go. Alright, now we're actually ready to start cooking. The oven is preheating up to 180 degrees Celsius. While I'm doing that, I'm going to brown the chicken. Now we're just going to transfer that to a plate with a kitchen towel on it just to drain away all the excess oil. So now into the same pan we're going to throw in our mushrooms and our onions. Also going to throw in the garlic as well now. And just give that a good toss and try not to make it go everywhere. We just throw it back in, count as clean. So you want to keep cooking these until the mushrooms have released their moisture and it's all evaporated and everything's all nice and soft. So probably going to take about 10-15 minutes. Okay, that looks pretty good, I reckon. So I'm just going to throw in a nice squeeze of tomato paste. Toss that around. Now I want to throw in my chicken stock flour wine mixture and just pour that over the top. Good noise. So I'm just going to cook that until it starts to reduce and gets a bit thicker. That smell, the wine coming off of there. Cooking with wine, it's good every time. Hey, that rhymes! There we go, that's nice and thick now, that looks amazing. So what I'm going to do now is throw in a tin of tomatoes. Stir that around a bit and just let that tin heat up for a little bit. But I've transferred the chicken into a casserole dish. What we'll do now, pour our mixture onto the chicken. So now that goes into the oven for an hour. A whole hour. Ugh. You're too slow, chicken Marengo.
Too slow for this cat.
And there we go, all nice and cooked. I'm not going to tip that too far because it might just tip out the whole thing. This looks amazing. Okay, so I'm just going to serve up. It smells awesome, by the way. So the recipe that I followed suggested you eat it with either pasta or rice. However, the cat ate it with new potatoes, which he then juggled. So I've made some new potatoes as well. So we're just going to top that with some flat leaf parsley. I've also put the traditional TV trope of a sarcastic salad on the side. And there you go, chicken Marengo. This looks and smells awesome. Let's go eat it. Okay, I am so looking forward to this. This has been smelling awesome for like the past hour. Cheers. Let's tuck it. It's alright. The wine is really coming through quite strongly. I have to say though, it's kind of a little bit bland. So I did follow the recipe exactly. I didn't add my own little flares to it. But I wish I had. I mean, I'll eat it. But I'm not necessarily enjoying it. If I was to make this again, I'd mix it up a little bit. I'd throw in a few additional herbs, maybe some spices, perk it up a little bit more. Because at the moment it's kind of a bit lackluster. It's kind of a bit disappointing. So I'm going to give chicken Marengo a 5 out of 10. It needs improvement. Hey, ha, hey, ha. Of course, what we all want to know is will the cat eat it? want some chicken? Yeah, chicken? It's fine, you can eat it. No. No. Okay, my cat does not like chicken Marengo. Oh well. I'll see you tomorrow for day 2. Good morning. I have another cup of tea in my Smeg Head mug. Yes, nice. Right. So today we are going for a full cooked breakfast. But not just any cooked breakfast. This is Lister's special Freaky Fungus cooked breakfast. So what is Freaky Fungus? So it originated in Series 2, Episode 4, called Stasis Leak. Basically, we go back in time and we see a period in history from before the radiation leak wiped out the crew. And we see Lister and Rimmer in the captain's office, where Rimmer is reporting Lister. In short, Lister decided to cook Rimmer a cooked breakfast, which contained a large quantity of hallucinogenic mushrooms.
Is this true? Sort of.
Which caused Rimmer to have all kinds of issues.
Second technician Rimmer, Arnold J., experienced what can only be described as a voyage to Trip Out City.
We don't see the meal, but we do know what's in it thanks to Rimmer's very precise notes. I'm going to have to read this because there's quite a bit. It contains 2 eggs, 3 rashers of bacon, a grilled tomato, 2 sausages, a small portion of fried potatoes, and a large quantity of mushroom. Although Lister did dispute how many eggs there were.
I'm sure it was only 1 egg.
Of course, we're not going to have proper hallucinogenic mushrooms, we're just going to have mushrooms. However, I have managed to get a hold of some exotic mushrooms. So in here, we have some yellow mushrooms, we've got some red mushrooms, we've got shiitake, and what was the other one it said? I can't even remember. But anyway, interesting looking mushrooms. I thought that would be a bit more interesting than just regular closed cap mushrooms. Smell quite interesting. So let's start with the sausages because they're going to take the longest to cook. I've got some just normal boring Cumberland Tesco own brand sausages here. Cumberland are just the best. And then we'll just throw that in the oven for 25 minutes. Okay, next up, potatoes. Remember, never specified what kind of fried potato. We just said a small portion of fried potato. Of course, you might have meant hash brown, but this is just easier. So these mushrooms, the packet doesn't actually say how long to cook them for. It just says to stir fry them. Oh, they smell good. What I'm going to do is just chop up a few of the larger ones, and then we'll just cook all of them in a pot. So one of the best ways that I've discovered to actually cook mushrooms is actually just to initially just cook them dry. So you just throw them into a pot and just let them wilt. Because mushrooms, surprisingly, have a lot of water in them. So by just cooking them dry, a lot of that water will just come out and they'll just cook in their own juices. Potatoes. There's not much of them, so I'm going to use the small burner at the front. And basically, I'm going to fry them in both olive oil and vegetable oil, which is a thing that I found online is a good way of cooking them. So you don't use butter because it'll burn quickly, but by using a combination of the 2 oils, it just adds some extra flavour. So let's see how that goes. So I'm throwing the olive oil first, and then some vegetable oil, which I'm almost out of. I should probably buy more of this. And then in with the potatoes. So I'm just going to season these potatoes up with a bit of rosemary, salt and pepper. But whilst they're sorting themselves out, it's time to cook the mushrooms. But let's just throw all of our exotic mushrooms into the pan. I'm starting to get a bit of brown on them now. And they're beginning to wilt as well, which looks amazing. Although I do think maybe I started to cook them a little bit too early, but we'll deal with that. So now we need 3 rashers of bacon. Okay, time for the butter in the shrooms. So at this point, that's where I'm going to add the salt and pepper and a sprinkling of parsley as well. To the potatoes, I'm going to add a bit of garlic powder. Throw in our tomatoes. And finally, the fried eggs. 2 fried eggs. I'm inclined to believe Rimmer with this rather than Lister because he has a bit of attention to detail. Alright, now time to serve it.
Breakfast comprised of 3 rashers of bacon, a grilled tomato, a small portion of fried potatoes, 2 sausages, 2 eggs, and a large quantity of mushrooms.
Freaky Fungus cooked breakfast. delicious. I'm gonna go eat this. Let's try these mushrooms then. That's quite nice. Yeah, let's try this red one. Interesting. Kind of a bit firmer. Shiitakes are good though. That is definitely an interesting mix of mushrooms. But of course I need to put the brown sauce all over everything, you know. Got a bit of class, right? Let's try these potatoes. Oh, they worked really well. It's a good way to cook a potato. I'll see you at lunch, assuming I don't go to Trip Out City.
Anyone like any toast?
Okay, this is weird. Earlier today, this guy came in and just like took over the house and said now I need to like earn my keep and I can only eat what he gives me. And so he's given me this plate of food for lunch. Let's see what it is. Oh, he's taken the smeg. Look what he's giving me, a pea on toast. Ugh, this reminds me of Series 2, Episode 5, Queeg, when Holly gets taken over.
From now on, Red Dwarf is run by Queeg 500.
Look what he's giving me for dinner. A pea on toast.
Fine, let's eat my pea on toast. Oh,
I've lost me pea.
oh, now the cat's eating it. Fine, I'll just eat my toast.
Did someone say they wanted toast?
Shut up.
So dry. Yeah. Look, he burnt it as well. Can't even cook toast properly. I hope I have something better for dinner. For today's dinner, I'll be taking inspiration from Series 3, Episode 1, entitled Backwards, where the dwarfers end up going back to Earth, but time is running backwards and everything happens in reverse. So naturally, I'm going to start with pudding. So pudding is going to be a chocolate eclair. I absolutely love chocolate eclairs, they're so decadent, but this is one from Greggs. I've never had it from Greggs before, so I'm looking forward to seeing what it's like. I'm going to be washing it up with a nice cup of tea, and then for dinner, I'll be having a nice steak pie with a side salad. I mean, look how delicious this is. Alright, let's go eat.
We just gotta get out of here. This universe is just too disgusting.
Well, what an amazing dinner that was. A delicious pie. But now we need to uncook it. So the packet says to heat it for 190 degrees for 25 to 30 minutes. So let's go get that done. And there we go. One delicious uncooked pie. I reckon that is dinner successfully done. I will see you yesterday for day 3.
Your caviar vindaloos.
I'm not sure how much to put on this, but I'm thinking a lot. Got some raw onion here, some cornflakes. This is going to be horrendous, isn't it?
Today's fish is trout a la creme. Enjoy your meal.
I will. One steaming hot bowl of gazpacho soup. That is very, very weird. This is Willet Croissant, full English breakfast. The beans have taken over. This would actually work really, really well.